everybody, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Sakaija. Ooh. If you're new here, thank you. This channel is all about me, craziness, fun things, all of the above. I'm lit. If you're returning, thank you so much. We're on a journey to 10,000 subscribers. I'm a little tipsy right now, so I'm not even gonna finish the intro. I love you guys. So this video was technically supposed to be a story time, and it kind of is a story time, but it's also like a one-on-one tutorial. I don't even know what I'm gonna like title this, but I was on the phone. So this was supposed to be like a drunk or lit tipsy story time, and I was gonna talk about several things, or like I had different topics in mind, like the first time I had anal sex, like all these random things. But I was talking to my cousins, and you know, I have twin cousins. One's a girl, one's a boy. And the girl, you know, I want her to get flued out. I want her to experience the shit I've experienced in college. And I got flown out for the first time in college. And like, you know, in college, it's okay to be stupid as fuck. And it's okay to do the shit that I was doing. I'm still doing college shit, I ain't gonna lie. But whatever. I was like, yo, let me do a video about being flown out. And kind of like my first time and like what to do. Even though we all have common sense, I hope. I'm lit. Okay. Get it together. Okay, so let's get into this. Getting flued out 101. Ladies, so let me kind of tell you the story. Period. See, I be telling on myself with these videos because like some of my exes, I've only been in 2 official relationships. And I know both of them watch this channel, so I love both of y'all. This ain't about y'all. We're still friends. I love you both, so period. Don't text me later like, bitch, you were lying, I was young. So I was 21 years old, right? You know, cute little tenderoni thing. And I was heavy on Twitter. Like low-key, if I would have kept that Twitter, I would be so fucking Twitter famous by now. Not the goal, but I'd have been Twitter famous by now because I was like popping on Twitter at one point. So I met this dude. We don't really talk no more. I don't know if he watches my YouTube channel, but fuck you if you do watch this channel because you told me you hope my plane crash. Fuck you. I will never forgive you. Anyways, he approached me because he was like an aspiring rapper at the time. I was 21, he was 25. He's 5 years older than me. So if I'm 28, he's 33. And something about him was like really interesting. I liked his vibe, I liked his style. He was from the South. You know, I love me a nigga from the South. So he approached me on Twitter, just like on some like real smooth stuff, nothing like crazy or whatever. But then like we started talking and clearly he was attracted to me. So he called me one day and he was like, to me 26 at the time was older, which is so funny. 26, you're still a child. But he was basically like, I want you to come to me. He lived in Texas, or still does. And he was like, I want you to come visit me. I've never had a man proposition me. Mind you, when I was 21, that was kind of like my first peak in life. Like, dudes were all over me, but I didn't know how to handle that because I never had a boyfriend until I was 21. Like later in my 21 years, I didn't have my first kiss or lost my virginity, none of that. Didn't have a video about that until I was 21. So like all this stuff was brand new. Like, yo, y'all want me, but I don't even know how to respond. And he was so attractive to me, and I was like, okay, like how do I do this? None of my friends at the time had ever like been propositioned to go meet a man in another state. So I was like, why not? Like if I die, I die, but I'm kind of interested. So we talked a few times and he was like about it. He was like, I'm buying your ticket today. I'm getting the hotel today. I want to see you. So I was like, oh, he about it. So he bought everything and I went to Dallas and I visited him and I spent like 3 days in Dallas with him and we fucked and sucked and did everything. That was my first time even having anal sex, I think. Yeah, I think my first time having anal sex was with him. And that's interesting because his dick is large, like still to this day one of the largest that I've ever seen in my life. But we're not talking, whatever. He flew me out to Dallas, and you know, everything ended up going well. Everything was copacetic. I feel like the vibes were great because clearly, like, up until this year, we have been talking. Like, I've been talking to this man since 2013. And at one point, I thought he was my soulmate because we would argue, fight, whatever, but we would always make up. But after he told me to die on a plane crash, you'll never get this pussy again. Okay, I'm late. Anyways, so I was like, yo, I had a great experience being flown out for the first time. You know, he's flown me out in the past, like, again after that, and then like I paid for my own shit to go see him because we weren't in a relationship. I would never claim that we were together, but we definitely had like this weird ass like entanglement for 7-8 years. Like, it was toxic as fuck, but the sex was so fucking magical. And we just knew so much about each other, whatever. Oh, why am I talking to him? I don't even want to like talk to him. I kind of want to do this video on like getting flown out 101, like, ladies, young ladies, if you're watching this shit. And you know, so many women, especially in LA and Miami and New York and Atlanta, like, bitches are getting flown out, and it doesn't always end well. I've only been flown out once to go meet a dude. I've been offered several times to go meet men, but it doesn't really appeal to me. There was one recently where I was like, I'm considering it because I like his vibe, but I'm also super cautious, and I'm also a lot older too, so like I have to be smarter. But here's just some really quick, and I can't believe I'm making this video. I hope you guys like it because I'm really kind of drunk. Here are some one-on-one things that I would say, and I have to go pee, so let me hurry up. Have a round trip ticket. If you are not sure about this person, like, even if you met them on FaceTime and talked to them on the phone, you just never really freaking know. So make sure if they're flying you out, one, honey, don't be spending your own money to fly you out. Like, if they're interested in you, they will find the means to make sure you have your round trip flight and hotel paid for, which is point number 2. Get your hotel and I would make sure it's in your name, but we're gonna talk about that as well. So get a round trip ticket only because you wanna make sure, you know, you're not gonna be in a position that F's you up later, like down the road. So have that round trip ticket, but also when it comes to the hotel, so usually when you get flown out, the dude is gonna be staying in the hotel with you. To me, it's like, wow, it's like a gem if they're not staying at the hotel with you. But usually if they're paying for the hotel, they may put it in their name, so they're gonna have a key. So it's like, it's in the air. If I'm gonna get a hotel, I want the hotel to be in my name, or I'm gonna have my own backup hotel on booking.com, which is the true tea, real tea. So if you aren't sure about the vibe, let's say you get there and something is off, have an extra hotel reservation like that he knows nothing about. And that's why I say you have to have a little bit of money like saved up, because you always want like an escape plan. You want enough money for Ubers or a rental car or for a hotel, just for your own safety. If you get there and the vibe is just fucked up, like when he takes you to dinner or like you guys are in somewhere, a public place, get your ass an Uber and go straight to your reserve hotel, and try to get a hotel that has free cancellation. So just in case like you book the hotel, you aren't gonna get charged because you canceled, whatever. So that was one thing that I did, and I consulted my friends everything. That's another thing. Make sure your friends know exactly where you are at all times. You do not know this person. You don't know this person. So although the vibe is great, you don't know if they're a fucking psychopath. So all my friends had my location. When I landed, they knew where I was. When I got there, they knew. When I got to the hotel, they knew what hotel it was. They knew the room. I gave them the concierge number. I gave them like everything. And at the time, I don't think iPhones had sharing my location, but I highly recommend you share your location at all moments with your friends and constantly check in. And I told my friend, if you text me and I don't text you back within 10 minutes, call me and call the hotel. Or if I text you and say, hey, like there's certain words, like if I'm fucking and like I'm really feeling this dude and you text me, I don't text back, you know, I don't want you to call the police. Make sure that you have kind of like a secret language set up with your people so they understand where you're at, because they can be the ones to get you out of a sticky situation. So that was my biggest thing. I stayed tapped in with my best friend at the time. None of my friends were approving. They were like really upset that I was going to go meet this man, but I was like, I love him, like we're cool. But have that in place. Also, spending money, make sure you have your own money on hand. So let's say, so I went out there for like 3 days and I kind of like estimated how much I would need just in case everything went sour. I think I went out there with like between $300 to $500 of my own money, only because I wanted to make sure, like even if I had to stay in a fucking hostel or like whatever, I made sure I had something to the side, because you do not want to rely on that person. You don't want to stay in the airport for 3 days because the shit didn't work out, or he was a weirdo, or he was a catfish, or whatever. Also, if you really want to be independent, rent your own fucking car. Don't have him pick you up from the airport. Now, the time I was flown out, I had him pick me up because I was like, whatever. Like, I was in college, I was young, I was broke. But if you have it like that, like now at 28, if I was getting flown out, not only are you putting the hotel in my name, but I'm also getting my own rental car, because you're not about to sit here and play me because you're a weirdo, like you're not holding me hostage, none of that stuff. So that's always been my biggest thing. Make sure you're independent in this situation, because you don't want to get played in the end. And I think the biggest thing about getting flown out is the expectation to have sex with these men. Unfortunately, ladies, if the man is dropping like $300-400 on your flight and then another $300-400 on your hotel, they're expecting some coochie, period. Like, you're going to likely end up having sex. If you don't and you're still getting flown out and getting shopping sprees, teach me the tricks, because honey, that's never happened to me. But it's definitely like expected. So if you are entertaining this person and you're not expecting, or you don't want to have sex with them, just don't even accept the invite to get flown out, because it's likely, like almost 100% gonna be expected. Now, whether it happens, that's all on you and him as a person. Some people like force themselves on you, and that's AKA rape. So you should call the police, or like just being pressured into doing something you don't want to do isn't right. So if you don't want to have sex with this person, do not accept the invitation to get flown out by them. Like, it's just not even smart. It's not whatever. Or buy your own shit. And like, so I've went to other states to visit men, but everything was on my own dime, so it was also on my own time. So if I never wanted to feel like I owe you sex because I'm in your town, because you paid for me to get here. I came here by myself for a vacation. I can choose to have sex with you if I want to or not. So that was my biggest thing about being flown out, like the expectation. I knew. So it's kind of like, I was young, so as soon as I landed and we got to the hotel, I just knew. I started taking off his clothes, my clothes. I was like, whatever, like I'm a prostitute for a day, because I know that this shit is not free. That was my flown out story. Those are also my flown out one-on-ones. I don't know if you guys find them helpful. A lot of this shit is common sense too. Like, just don't, if you're uncomfortable, if go with your gut instinct all the time. If your gut tells you that this shit is not safe, stop. It's not even worth it. Like, never compromise what you feel, what you believe, and what you value, please, because that shit will fuck you up, trust me. So that's flown out 101 as the airplane passes by. I'm a little tipsy because it's supposed to be a drunk story time, but whatever. And then yeah, if you like this video, make sure you stay subscribed, share, comment, like. November's gonna be full of great content. I hope you guys like it all. I love you guys.